All right, good morning, everyone. It is 11:51 in the morning on October 1st, 2021, and today I get to do a $65 recap. And, I had an outstanding trade on NVAX. I shorted NVAX. I don't like to short, and so I only shorted 20 shares, and I got $20 a share movement on NVAX. I'll show it to you. But then I tell you, I just couldn't walk away from a positive $400 day today for whatever reason. I don't know. And then I decided to go long MRK with 300 shares. I staggered the entries, but I got punished. AFRM was okay to me today. It was nice to me. And BMRA, BMRA was just super choppy, crowded, and we'll take a look at it here. Okay, so for starters, let's look at NVAX. Here is the daily on NVAX. And this morning I put NVAX up because it was gapping down, and I was like, the opposite of the sort of the shutdown trade and the COVID-19 trade is sort of like Zoom and NVAX. Although I think Zoom has more value. But anyway, NVAX was just looking, really, really bearish. And so I look back at it here, and back here there's a gap. The top of the gap is at 172, and then the what I kind of call the bottom of the gap is at 150, almost even. You can see here, it's just started taking off to the downside pretty much as soon as it opened. Let's take a look at the 1 minute today. Yeah, it opened and popped up a little bit. Originally, I was looking at 198 as resistance. But then I was watching this thing, and I was watching it pretty closely at the opening. And let's see, I got in at around 185. So let's see. Yeah, it was right around, it was after it was breaking through this 1 minute candle that I got involved. I was in at 185.22 short. 20 shares. And so I took this thing and I was like, well, 150 is the bottom of that gap. Let's see, if it can go all the way to the bottom of the gap, which would have been, a $35 gain. Well, so it came down here to as low as 154.44, and then it just started to recover. And so I wound up letting it go at about 165.22, actually. I put the order in for 165.22 to buy. I must have gotten filled just a few cents lower than 154.22 by 31 cents because I'm sorry, 164.22, not 154, 164.22. I was short at 165.22. I was short at 185.22. And so I wound up getting out. Yep, here's this pivot right here. Let me get rid of all the rest of this stuff. I know it's kind of hard to see with so many lines. So here's this pivot right here, and it continued further down. And so when I was looking at the spot to get out, where I was like, okay, it's no longer going to keep going down if it goes past this point right here, if it rises up past this point. So right here, 164.97 was that number, and I wound up selling it, I wound up buying back at. I put my order in to buy back at 165.22, which would have been a perfect $20 from where I shorted it at 185.22, and I must have gotten filled just slightly below. 31 cents below that, so wherever that price was. But it was as soon as it started crossing back up above this 164.97 is where I put in my order to close my short trade. So that was nice. It's nice no matter, even if it's a small trade, it's nice when you make $20 a share on a trade. So that put me up $400. Although that was the first trade that I initiated, that wasn't the first trade that I opened and closed. Let's see, BMRA. So BMRA, let me look at this on the 1 minute and I'll show you here. And this has just kind of been the way it's been with small cap momentum lately. I don't know if it's the market makers or what's going on here, but you can see, I mean, look at this break. You got to know the momentum strategy to kind of appreciate like kind of what I'm getting at here. But anyway, it dropped down, it dipped down here. The first trade that I took on it was at $6.22, and it was right here. It moved on me. Right here. Right there in that candle. $6.22, and it was breaking. It looked like it put in a bottom to me and was starting to break above the previous candle's high. That's momentum. Well, sure enough, it didn't work out. So I dumped it at 13 cents loss, at $6.09. So before it got away from me, too far away from me, I got rid of it. So I didn't get any gigantic losses. And I was just watching this thing, and I was like, well, and 628 was a level that I'd gotten before. I'm just glad I didn't. There was a break of 628 here, but you can see somebody else was watching it, or a bunch of other people were watching it, and it broke this 628 level and then just sold off. So momentum just wasn't there. The push past higher prices just wasn't happening on the stock. And now also something, don't let this fool you. See this volume down here? If you can see that. This thing has traded, let me go to my level 2. BMRA has traded 57 million shares today. And so when you see the volume down here saying things like 12,500, 13,700, 20,000, basically 21,000, don't let that fool you. There were many millions of shares getting traded in these 1 minute time frames. And so it was overcrowded, just overcrowded. There were a whole bunch of orders for like 6,000, 10,000 shares. And anytime it hit a level here, a breakout level, it sold off. It would just immediately sell off. And the big one right here was this one right here. This is just this 628, and just it gets flushed down 60 cents here. Let's see, the high was 629 and the low was 563. So what's that? That's 66 cents flush. And I mean, it happened fast. It's just, I don't know what's happened to the momentum trade. I don't know why it's changed in such a way. It just, it's just not fun. It's like you gotta buy the dip, and then so I could have gotten out like right here when it hit 628. I could have had my finger on the sell button to sell after it hit 628, but that's only 6 cents higher than my entry, and that's trying to buy the dip, and it's just. I guess it's not supposed to be fun for the traders. It's supposed to be really, really hard work for the traders. It used to be a lot easier. It's not like that anymore, unfortunately. Really just sellers are just waiting. And it looks like even the VWAP right here, a break of the VWAP, and they're like, sell. Break the VWAP, sell. Break the VWAP, sell. Comes up, tries to hold on to the VWAP, nope, sell it. It just, I don't know. Small cap momentum, it's just too bad. It's not what it used to be. All right, so then let's see. Oh yeah, while I'm at it, PALT. So I almost bought this breakout right here. I was watching it, and I had my finger on the buy button. This is where you're supposed to buy. If you're going to trade momentum, that was the spot to buy right there. But it was, once again, there are just too many people who are ready to take advantage of momentum traders and sell into the upswing. It's really too bad. But this isn't one that I really, to say I had my finger on the trigger is kind of a little bit of a falsehood. Actually, I probably, if this thing had bumped up above 1339, retested and then risen again, I may have attempted to make a trade on it then. But this run up above 1339 would not have been an entry for me. And the reason is because this thing has been on the 29th of September, it put in this gigantic topping tail. So any price action that occurs in between, actually, any price action that occurs south of this number right here, south of 1520, this is a gigantic selling zone, to the close. Even the close on the 21st isn't really a very reliable entry, really. I mean, it's nice that it's been hanging out above that close now for a couple of days. So a retest of this close right here, might offer a trade. It might even be support for a continued move higher. But there's really no telling. I seriously doubt it. But you never know. So it's worth watching. There can be a case made for this thing putting in a bull flag as well. So I think it's worth keeping an eye on it. It's worth watching, but you just got to be ultra careful with it. As you can see from today's action, the thing really let go at, let's see, where was it? Yeah, right here. 13.15 down to 11.65. Well, that's a $1.50 drop in a 1 minute time frame. So if you're in, say you're in 10,000 shares, that's a $10,000 drop right there. It's just totally, it's shenanigans. It's just shenanigans. All right, and so then the other thing, okay, MRK, right? MRK. Let me go to the 1 minute. So I was watching MRK, and right in here, MRK, for a large cap, it is traded quite a bit. It's traded 68 million shares, which is a significant amount of volume higher than its normal average share size or normal share count. So okay. This thing was behaving well. It made a move back past its open. I missed this move past its open right here. I didn't get any piece of the action right here for this run up from the open at 81.57 to a high of 84.34. And so I was watching this thing. I was like, oh, okay, here we go. Look, we've got so it put in this little consolidation zone right here and then popped up. I was like, okay, next consolidation area. So I started buying the dip. Let me get to it here. Let me get rid of those marks. And so I was like, okay, well, so the dip, so the bottom of this candle at 82.75. All right, there's an entry point for the next move up. No. And I was like, okay, 82.43, that'll be the next spot for it to, bounce and move up. No. And then I was like, okay, here we go, VWAP right here. I'll get a bounce off the VWAP. It's roughly, let me see, 82.06. And so I was in this thing for like an average of 82.47, I think, something like that. I think it was 82.47. It just started letting go, and then it went down. Yeah, it was 82.57 actually. I remember being in $1 higher than its break, or $1 higher than its opening price. And so I was like, crap. And so it started dropping back below its opening price. I was like, okay, this thing got support here before, but I can't count on that. I'm not really willing to sit here and gut it out. Let me just cut my losses before it turns into, I had 300 shares, and I was down. Let's look at this. Let's just look at it. 340 bucks, and so that ate up a vast majority of the NVAX. Now we look at this wonderful run on NVAX that I caught, from basically, here, down to here, between those two yellow lines right there. That's a $20 move. and I screwed it all up with a 300 share trade on MRK at the wrong time. You know, if I'd been aware enough at the time to recognize, oh, okay, well, you know what? I'll know if I'm wrong right away. If I start buying close to 80.63, which is today's low, and it dips down below that, then it's going lower today. But, you know, I didn't do that. For whatever reason, I chose to buy it when it was higher. Now it's recovering, and I actually could have gotten out of this thing break even, but I would have been sitting here, you know, as with the anxiety. Pardon me. Okay. Sorry about that. Yeah, I would have been sitting here just like, you know, how much lower is it going to go? You know, how wrong can I be until I finally cut losses? And down here, I would have been down. It was at 300 shares. I would have been down on this thing somewhere around $850 or something. Yeah, forget that noise. You know, I'll just cut my loss. I mean, I should have cut my losses a lot earlier, but yeah, too bad. Really too bad. Didn't catch support in the areas that I thought that it would at all, but I wasn't really using very good support areas. So, you know, my mistake. I get to pay for it. What's next? Pardon me. AFRM, right? Yeah, AFRM. Yeah, AFRM lost $50 on it there, made $50 on it here. So let's take a look at it. AFRM 116.32. Okay, I remember. So I took a $50 50 share entry at this 1650. Yeah, 1650. And I took it. I can't remember exactly where I took it, but it was somewhere along this noise, somewhere this consolidation area. And you know, it went up on me, went down on me, so on and so on, and then it started coming down on me, so I dumped it. And that was for $1 loss, so it was at 1550 where I dumped it. It was right here, right before it hit 1527. It was in this candle right here where I let it go. And so then it did go down a little bit further and hit the next Fibonacci spot at almost perfectly right here on this candle, just a few cents below it. Really well-behaved stock, 1358. And so when it hit this level, I wasn't paying attention, and it was kind of bobbling up and down below this 1444. And so then when it made this definitive cross above 1484 right here, I bought at 114.60. And so trading view just does not reflect. Oh wait, maybe it does. Here we go. Actually, 114. Okay, so yeah, I don't know. Anyway, I bought at 114.60 and sold at 115.60. Yeah, 114 and sold at 115.60. So I made $1 back on it. So it's kind of a scratch trade on the AFRM today. And then it did actually make a $3 move total once it finally stopped kind of doing its up and down right here. So yeah, I think there's plenty of more trading left to do on AFRM. It's behaving really well, and so I look forward to trading it more in the future. Where else are we? Oh, okay, so MRIN is something I've been keeping an eye on. And so here, for example, I've got MRIN up in my level 2. And wait a second. I had it up. Let me put it back up. There it is. So here, see this right here? On MRI, make this, let me get it large so it's easy to see. So the last time frame right here, you see that's 1204, and there's nothing else. There's this tiny little speck right here at $8.60 on MRIN, and then the next timestamp there are no other. Let me get rid of the Fibonacci so it's a little bit easier to see. $12.04. That's the last trade registered on MRIN right here. It is right now, it's 12.11, almost 12.12. So we're all the way over here. I'm looking at the at MRIN's level 2, and it's traded between I don't know, 859 and 862, 863 in this time frame, and there's nothing registered on the chart. So I just find that so annoying about TradingView is it won't register trades, and even when there are stocks that are like moving. Here, let me show you AFRM on the 1 minute. Actually, and let me get rid of the, so it's easier to see. Get rid of the Fibonacci. Oh, God, I can't believe I did that again. All right. So there will be time gaps in here. 51, 5, 01, 02, 03, 04, 05, 06, 7, 11, 19. Well, all right. So even for stocks that trade steadily with decent volume, the candle motion won't reflect what's happening in the level 2. So it really sucks that you can't trust these candles. You really can't trust the candles in TradingView. It sucks. All right, so that's pretty much it for the trading day here. Let's see what's going on. Oh yeah, the broader market here. This could be. We'll have to see how they close them today. How it closes today, but that could be the bottom of this little sort of correction thing that's happening. This little soft period that's happening right here. We're headed into Q4. And Q4 is supposed to, we're coming into earnings, and Q4 is supposed to be a strong quarter for GDP performance, and then Q1 and Q2 of next year are also supposed to be equally, or not equally as strong, but at least they're supposed to sustain the strength. The acceleration is going to happen in Q4, and then that sort of sustained level of commerce is going to be maintained between Q1 and Q2 of next year. Yeah, it's this might be it. This if this turns out to be sort of like a bottom pin, sort of looks like a thumbtack. It's not a hanging man. Yeah, then this could be the bottom. This could be it. The VIX is breaking down. And the VIX is breaking down here. It just, this is coincidence, this 2476 level. And then, these two, let's see, 2476 was basically the top on the 28th, the top yesterday, and pretty much the top today, this kind of area right in here. And so this could be a pretty swift and significant breakdown in the VIX if things kind of turn out the way I think they're going to turn out. This could be the bottom. And Bitcoin, boy oh boy, what an upturn in Bitcoin. Still has some work to do to break some technical levels. But I tell you, if it does, watch out. Bitcoin is going much, much higher. Okay, so there's AFRM breaking back through 1650. BMRA, just I noticed this, broke through 628 here. You can see it's trying to hold 628. Could actually be a trade here today. Well, I'm going to call it a day anyway. I've got $68 in my pocket. All right, everybody, good luck. Keep your risk tight. Click like, share, subscribe, leave a comment, tap the bell, and I will see you on Monday morning's strategy session. Have a great weekend, everyone. I am out.